Hey, Nate Loip here, Chairman of the Greenville County Republican Party. Thank you for joining us today. Over the last few weeks, Greenville, as well as some of the other counties, have been doing a candidate series with those running on the ballot for our June 9th primary. Today we have a very special guest with us. Senator Lindsey Graham is joining us with the 5 county party chairs. And we have a few questions for Senator Graham. I will start with the first question. Senator Graham, besides receiving a resolution of commendation from the Greenville County Republican Party last August, what is one thing that you're most proud of, or one accomplishment that you're most proud of over the last couple years?
Well, I'd have to say helping Judge Kavanaugh when he needed help. I've known him for 20 years, and they were trying to ruin his life to keep the seat open, hoping they could win the White House in 2020 and fill it. And I think I spoke up in a fashion that most Republicans appreciated. I've never seen anything quite like it. But really working with President Trump to change the country, of all the things I'm most proud of, quite frankly, is the men and women in uniform now have the equipment they need. They have the training they need. They have the money they've been lacking. We rebuilt the military. We've taken the fight to the terrorists, and we're just safer for it. But President Trump rebuilding our economy before the coronavirus, we were humming. So just working with the president to getting outcomes that helped everybody, African American, Hispanic, family incomes are at historic levels before the virus. And we'll come back from this thing, but just trying to be part of a team that moved the ball forward.
Senator Graham, this is Janice Long with the Lawrence County new GOP chair.
Yes, ma'am.
What is one thing that you would like to accomplish in this next term?
Got to deal with the debt. You know, we've run up a lot of debt. There's no way getting around it. We had to put money into the economy. We shut every business down in the country, try to keep the virus from spreading. I think the president's decision to deny travel from China and the United States saved millions of people from being infected and probably that a million or two from dying. But we got a big debt. So I want to sit down with the president and try to find a way to get us out of debt, reform Medicare and Social Security. It's running out of money, save it for future generations, make sure the people on it get their checks, and future generations can benefit from these programs, but keep us from becoming Greece. We've got to get a handle on the debt.
Senator Graham, Suzette Jordan here from Greenville County.
Yes,
Chairman Rick Tate from Pickens County was unable to be with us today, so I'm going to ask his question. Tell us a little more about your relationship with President Trump, and how does that help you in the Senate?
Well, that's an interesting question. It has evolved from being not too good to being really good. You know, I'm one of the 17 people that ran for president. If you didn't know that, it's not your fault. It didn't last that long. But we had a very spirited contest, and we gave it to each other pretty hard. But he won and I lost. I accept my defeat. I think he's done a really good job on all the things that matter. If you like conservative judges, we got a ton of them, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh. If you like a strong military, we got it. He's been the best pro-life president really in my lifetime. So what happened here right after the election, he called me over and he said, I'd like to work with you. I said, Mr. President, count me in. I want you to be successful. And he says, I don't have your phone number. And I said, well, there's a reason for that. Did he remember the fact he gave my phone number out and he apologized? I said, no, that's the highlight of my campaign. So I tell people what happened. I've come to like the president. He likes him. And the sort of history. But we play a lot of this next weekend. It's just been a really transformational experience in my life. Once you get to know the president, he's a very gracious person. He's a fighter. They beat him up from the time he gets up to the time he goes to bed, and he doesn't sleep much. So I'm just all in wanting to help him. And I think it's helped South Carolina where it comes to the Port of Charleston. That's one of the biggest accomplishments working with Tim Scott. We got money into the port. It's the lifeblood of South Carolina's economy. But I think the president is always there for South Carolina. He loves Senator Scott. I think I have a great relationship with the president, and that helps our state. I have no doubt in my mind that it helps us.
Senator Graham, this is Cheryl Cuthro of the Anderson GOP. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. Good.
I know we've had a lot of accomplishments since Trump took office, but if there was one thing you could change during your tenure as a senator, what would it be?
I would not have voted for Brennan for CIA director. I regret that. That guy's been, just stay tuned. We're going to start the hearings here soon. I'm chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We're going to get to the bottom of all things Crossfire Hurricane. The Russian investigation got really off the rails. We're going to start with Rosenstein and ask him why he signed a warrant that the court rejected, or that DOJ rejected and withdrew. And we're going to find call McCabe and Comey and eventually Brennan. And yeah, if I had one thing to do over again, I wouldn't have voted for that guy.
Senator Graham, I'm Kurt Smith, chairman of the Spartanburg County Republican Party. Kurt, you have an impressive list of endorsements. Can you give us some of them from across South Carolina and tell us why you think they're supporting you?
Well, my aunt, that's good. She's taken care of me all these years. My Aunt Verna May and my family, that means a lot that I hadn't alienated them. Well, President Trump, let's start with that. I mean, he's been all in to help me. He's helped me raise money. He's come to the state for me. Vice President, you probably see him on TV. I've known Mike Pence for a long time, and there's no finer person on the planet than Mike Pence. But both of them, are behind me because they know I've been a reliable conservative voice, and I can help the president. Sometimes we disagree. I tell him the truth as I see it. But if you're a Second Amendment guy, I've got the NRA. I've got plenty of guns. I know how to use them responsibly, but the NRA's in my camp. I appreciate that. I think I've earned their support. If you're a Right to Life person, check me out. The National Right to Life, Susan B. Anthony. It's my bill that the pain capable bill, banning abortion at 20 weeks. We're one of 7 nations in the entire world that allow abortion in the 5th month of pregnancy. And my bill is the new pro-life cause. At 20 weeks, you can feel pain. An unborn child can. You have to operate on the child with anesthesia to save its life. Can you only imagine what it's like to be aborted at 20 weeks? So I've got the endorsement of the NRA, the pro-life community, the president, the vice president, all of our congressional Republicans. We've got a great team. I mean, all of them are just wonderful men. Tim Scott's, just a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. But the main thing, I've got a lot of people who are precinct captains and county chairmen. My support is wide and deep. I hope people believe I've earned it. This is going to be a tough election. All this money Jamie Harrison is raising has got nothing to do with him. It's all about me. For every person that liked Kavanaugh, there's somebody who doesn't like it. Now, most all of them live in California. So bottom line is we're going to have a contest to keep this seat. I'm going to be well funded. Got a lot of people behind me, and we're going to win. And the president's going to get reelected, and we're going to keep changing this country. Imagine 4 more years of conservative judges, 4 more years of pro-tax policy, 4 more years of a strong military. There's a lot at stake here. I intend to keep this seat in Republican hands, and I appreciate all those who have backed me, and it's been a blessing.
Thank you, Senator Graham, for your time. Just want to let you know that we are thankful for what you are doing for us in D.C. The 5 upstate chairs have been working together for the last couple years, and especially give a shout out. I'm not sure if you know that Fred Davis, your upstate field director, is possibly one of the hardest working field directors that I've ever seen.
He's sitting right across from me. I'm not going to pay him anymore, but I will. No, I've got a great team of young people. We need to keep young people. Just to end this thing, President Trump has really improved standing with the African American and Hispanic community among Republicans. We're making everybody's life better. Along came the coronavirus, but we'll dig out of this. There are no Lindsey Grahams and Tim Scotts and William Timmons and Joe Wilsons. You just go down the list without people willing to make the phone calls, put up the signs, and drive a message. So to all the people who joined the party and spend their time, thank you. You built something to be proud of. We dominate South Carolina. Our friends in Georgia and North Carolina are going to have a real contest. My goal is to keep South Carolina conservative, and our neighbors in North Carolina and Georgia, we don't want that to come here. God bless you.
You're in good hands. Thank you very much. Thank you, county chairs. And we look forward to sharing this. Help us to share this across the different social media platforms. We want to be united as we take on the Democrats this November.